So, good afternoon and welcome. It's a lovely Saturday afternoon, and today we had the pleasure of spending some time with Nick and Yardley. So, you bear with me as I show you some stuff. And first, we're going to try to play you this entry video. So, we're going to have some fun today, okay? Why not, right? So, let's have a look at this. There. Let's see. It should work. So I have with me today none other than Nick Lees. Nick, can you hear me?
I can hear you beautifully.
Oh my gosh. So we've had an exciting morning already, huh?
We have indeed. It was Yardley Jones's 90th birthday, and he is in McConnell Place, which is a live-in place for seniors, and like any other of those places in the world, probably security is very tight. We couldn't get in, he couldn't get out, so we did our best to chew him up through the window. And I had a message from Carol McDonald, who's the rec manager there, and she says that he really had a good time. And I think it was because you brought your buddy,
Terrell.
Terrell
Edwards, yeah.
Along. And one of the songs I remember best, you can always hear at the end of Welsh rugby games, especially if they win, they sing, "We'll keep a welcome in the hillside." Mm-hmm. We'll keep a welcome in it until you come back to Wales. He sang that beautifully. And I'm not sure Yardley knew that he was singing this, but I think he had a tear approaching in his eyes a couple of times there. It's a really great Welsh tune. But Yardley was actually born in Liverpool. And I did a story recently about when he was 10, his whole family's home was bombed by the Nazis trying to take out Liverpool because it had such big, huge, very efficient ports. Yardley's house was partly bombed, and he tells me they were all sheltering under a table because the sirens were going one night. And they were under a table. Some of the house was really shaken. There's people yelling at them to get out. So they did. And Yardley, he said he was 10, and he was pushing his brother, much younger, in a pram down the same street on the way to, making an escape. And he said he looked around, and overhead there were British Spitfire planes attacking the German bombers. Yeah. And there was all kinds of carnage going on. But on the ground, he said, you could see all the houses that were on fire. They'd been hit and fires everywhere. And he was sent with a lot of kids from Liverpool into the country. And I know at one time he lived in a place called Nazareth, purely by chance, and spent Christmas there, but the wrong Nazareth, I guess. And he shared a bed with 3 other evacuees his age, in that kind of 10 age group. And 2 of his aunts found out where he was and took him a whole bunch of Christmas presents. These other 3 lads had nothing, no Christmas presents. So Yardley very generously, he's like that, shared his presents with all these guys, and all he kept for himself was the paints and of course the paints. He was a natural artist. As a kid, he drew, painted a bit, and in no time he went on. Actually, I read somewhere in a bio that he was actually had studied as a draftsman. I have known him for 30 plus 35 years or something. He's never mentioned studying being a draftsman to me. He did say that he was a house painter at one time, very keen on doing cartoons. So he was
Wow.
trying to sell them. He was trying to sell them to newspapers even as a kid, and he actually employed his dad as one of his workers. And everybody, it's not unusual to see, father and son companies, but Yardley did this as Yardley and father,
Yeah.
much to the chagrin of his dad, who was sort of furious. But his dad was getting paid, so what could he do?
Wow. Yardley and
But
father.
in his teens, he did sell a cartoon to the Liverpool Echo, which is the
Wow.
big daily paper in Liverpool. But he was applying his trade all over North Wales, and he really became a Welshman. And that's why we're saying you'll keep a welcome in the hillside, because I think I ran umpteen marathons, 42-kilometer marathons, all over the place. And he always wore a bandana with a red Welsh dragon on it. So he associated himself with being Welsh. So he met his wife, Mary, at a country, danced way out in the country one night. And it was sort of instant. They just sort of got on, and this romance bloomed, and they got married and decided they were going to emigrate. Yardley had thought of Australia. I think it was Mary, his wife, his late wife, who said, no, we should maybe think about Canada. So Yardley, I think, went out and got a couple of passages on a cargo boat, I think, to Canada. And she said, Yardley, we can get I've got a bad Welsh accent. We can go into Queen Mary for maybe even less. So they eventually came over. I think they landed in Montreal, eventually ended up here. They knew somebody here, and he became a house painter. He did some sketches for the Roughneck magazine, and he still had his paint business. And one day he was going down 101st Street to drop off a cartoon to the publisher or the managing director there, whatever there. And there was a guy up on a beam, balancing precariously, being held up by a crane. And Yardley, and the Yardley goes, bang, idea. He did this guy bouncing on a beam, reading the journal, and the guy is saying, imagine the guts and all the rest of it, and how brave these guys are to do this kind of work. And there's Yuri Gagarin happily sailing the world in a satellite, and here's this guy balancing on a beam on Jasper, what's that, 101st Street. And he immediately put that into Doodle. He took it to the journal. He got a job instantly and became their first editorial cartoonist. Yeah.
Whoa.
and that launched him on his career. But he worked at the Journal for, I think, about 5 years. Then he worked at the Toronto Telegram for about 7. And it closed in, I think it was 79 maybe. And then he went on to the Toronto Star. And I think it was in that changeover period, somewhere about 71, he was awarded a national newspaper, much coveted National Newspaper Award. And he wouldn't go to the gala and take it. And he told me he didn't. I said, well, why not? He said, well, Pierre Trudeau was then Prime Minister. He'd have presented it to me, but he was no friend of the West and really stole a lot of money out of Alberta. So I don't want anything to do with that guy. So he never did get his award arrived in the mail, I do believe.
He would not allow Prime Minister Trudeau to present him with his award.
No. He said he'd let Alberta down, and I think the prairies down, especially Alberta, though.
Well, that's a true Albertan.
Yeah.
Yardley.
But eventually, Yardley came back and worked for the Sun right at the end of the 70s, beginning of the 80s. And I met him. The first marathon I ever did was in 1982. I just parachuted, made 19 jumps with the Airborne Regiment to get a nice, I told you that story before, I think, a nice T-shirt with a powder blue parachute on it. And then
Right.
I wore it with a tutu, tried out for the Alberta Ballet, and the colonel was very disappointed and threw me out of a plane in the middle of the night into a live fight battle. But anyway, and then so I was in the YMCA downtown, and a very well-known runner by the name of Doug Jones, who's no longer with us, but there used to be a race after him, a 10K named for him. And I was sitting in the Y one morning, and he said he came up to me and said, "I can see your tombstone. It won't have mountain climber, paratrooper of any of this nonsense. It just won't be there. What it will say in very big capitals on your tombstone will be, he never ran a marathon." So I thought, oh gosh, I got to run a marathon. So I started training with this Doug Jones. As I said, it was very popular, very well liked. I regular all these races, and I trained enough. And then I ran my first marathon was 1982. It was, I think, one of the first really big marathons Edmonton ever had. And lo and behold, pure chance, I changed next to Yardley Jones in the changing room. And I sort of recognized him. I don't know if he knew who the heck I was, but I recognized him. But we never did say a word to one another. We didn't
at that time.
we did, we were. He was working for the Sun. I was working for the fierce rivalry back then. So let it go. But 2 years after that, 84, I think I told you again. I tried to climb Canada's highest mountain, stuck on the top for 23 days, and all this stuff.
Hang on a second. Whoa. All right, hang on. This is not supposed to be perfect. We do get interrupted once in a while, right? So
yeah,
there we go. Sorry about that, Nick.
Hang on, I'll get some friends to call me to show I'm not alone. I'm not alone in the world. But anyway,
we did a little video this morning, so I'm going to see if I can cue it up and have a look, because I know you haven't seen it yet. So let's just see if I can do this. Right? It's for me, I'm always trying all this stuff, right? So hold on.
Right.
And I have to press
there's Terrell singing.
Yeah. So let's see if we can share the screen. Oh, there. I can maybe get this working. Hold on. Let's see.
Well, there's Terrell.
There's Terrell. Now we just have to, I have to figure out how to get it to play. Hold on one sec. I'm sure I can probably get this happening here. There's Terrell. Hold on. And he did a really great job. So I'll get this to, hang on one second. Share the screen.
Well, you sent him the words and he picked up the tune, and it was really great. It was really good.
Yeah, it is. 1 second here. So he did a really, really good job, Nick. He's
a dynamic singer.
Yeah, he is. There he is. So I don't know if I have to press play first. But we'll try it and see. Press play. Oh, there we go. Can you hear it?
Yep.
Oh, I clicked it out. Okay, I'll try one more time. Okay. It's in the film. Okay, where did you go, Terrell? Application window. I'll get it queued up here again. Hang on 1 second. I had it there. Well, Yardley, this COVID-19 has really caused a lot of issues for a lot of people, right? Okay, so let's just see here. It's in a download. It says video. Maybe this is it. Hold on. Well, this was some pictures. I was trying all kinds of stuff. Hang on 1 second.
We'll keep her welcome in the hillsides. We'll keep her welcome in the vales. This land, you know, will still be singing when you come home again to Wales.
You see, I mean, I did all this myself when I came back here. This is like crazy, hey?
I think you may have to fire yourself.
Yeah, I think so. Can you see these pictures?
No.
Hang on. Let's see. It says share the screen. Stop sharing the screen. Share the screen. Go to the application window. Let's try this one. Let's see if you can see that.
Yeah, I can see that. That's Yardley and I through the window.
Right. So it should be able to play. Hang on 1 second. That was really cool, you and the Yardley.
Send me that one, could you?
You like that one?
I like that one.
I like that one too. So, yeah, I was having lots of fun with this for sure. Yeah, it's a pretty nice picture.
Yep.
Let's see, I have some other pictures here. Why don't we click through them? Can you see that one?
Yep.
And there. That's a friend of yours. You said he's a marathon runner, correct?
I don't see the picture, yeah.
Oh, you don't see it? Okay. All right. But this one you see?
No.
No? Okay. All right. That's all right. Okay, well, there you're back. But I really want to play this video because I worked really hard to download it. So we'll keep talking until I get it loaded up, okay? If you don't mind.
Okay.
Because I did manage to get it. I had it there for a second. You saw him.
Well, you keep going. I'll tell you another story about Yardley and I.
Yeah, you carry on.
In 84, I came back from that climb in the Yukon in 84. Yardley was at the Journal. He did a great cartoon of myself and three of the friends I was on the mountain with, and we became instant friends. And the following year, we ran the New York Marathon together. We went to New York and we raised 32. Well, this was a lot of money back in those days. We raised $32,000 for a charity, and I can't get into the files to find out which charity it was. But we went to New York, had a really good time in there, and then the following year we took a party to the original marathon, from Marathon down to Athens, and again we raised about the same sum of money, and we were buddies by then. I think the following year there was the Jasper Banff relay was going then, and Yardley and I ran from Jasper to Banff. We did the whole thing in a week, which is about a marathon a day. And we raised a whole bunch of money for the Alex Taylor School, I think, that run was for. But we just became buddies, and we went up to the Yukon. I remember once with my friend Hector McKenzie, who's a guide up there. We were out. We were all over the Yukon, camping, living in the mountains, cross country skiing, and it was a lot closer to home. Somewhere in about that period, we saw there was a guy called James Blench in Canmore working as a guide who was going on the Everest expedition, Canadian Everest expedition, and was off in a few months' time. So Yardley and I talked Don Smith, who was the managing director, into hiring him through the Journal funds to take Yardley and I to the top of Mount Hector, which is down near Lake Louise. And that first day, Yardley and I had run 20 miles in a training run the day before. But that day, we got up to the tree line, just where beyond there was no trees, it was just snow. And we built what they call a quincy. We shovel all this snow together, and then you kind of dig it out and sleep inside. But I was tired. I said, I'm going to sleep. And they said, well, we're going to explore a bit further up the mountain. They came back, woke me up. I got out. They went inside to finish hollowing out this big, huge mound of snow we had created, and the thing collapsed on them.
No
And
way.
when you may have 5 minutes air if you get trapped tightly in a pocket. So I jumped. I was shoveling like mad. I knew I'd run out of oxygen in my muscles and my blood. So I thought I got to get in fast. So I jumped in the middle of this pile of snow, dug like crazy. I caught part of this red Parker. That's Yardley. I had to guess which way his head was. I guessed right, got him out. He stood up. I was totally exhausted. He said, I'll find Blench. And so he dug. He knew where Blench was because he could yell at him through the snow. It was like a million miles away, but he said his Nick's still outside. And Yardley said, I thought I was in the doorway and had probably got out. And so I did. So Yardley got Blench out, and we slept without really a top over us. We put some kind of clothing or something over our refuge that night. And next morning, we'd given up. We were exhausted, hadn't slept well. Rather than go to the peak, we went down. And I remember skiing down this very steep hill out to the highway, and we were loading our packs and skis into the Yardley's van. And Blench turned to me and he just said, by the way, old chap, thanks for saving my life. So I thought, yeah, I probably did there, But that night, Yardley and I went to the best restaurant we could find in Banff. And he said, it's on me tonight. Get a good bottle of wine. So I did. I got a really good bottle of wine. I thought, well, save the guy's life, So we drank this bottle of wine. And after I had a few glasses, he said, Nick, will you do me a favor? And I said, yeah, what do you want? He said, don't ever tell my wife that you had to save my life today. She'll never let me go in the mountains with you again. So I said, no. And I always wanted to tell his wife that story. I don't know if he ever did, but it was a good yarn. It was a good yarn. But anyway, he and I went on to we were in the first 25 people that skied the Birkie Festival, the Birkie race, 55K. We did it. The first one was in 85. We did it. We both did it. And he was ahead of me because I got no idea about racing on cross-country skis. And I still turned up with these big old-fashioned recreation skis. But I did, and it was through the river valley from Devon up to Fort Edmonton. I did it, but it took me quite a while. I was the last to finish. There was only 25 people, and these guys were all pretty good skiers. But anyway, somebody made me a president of skinny skis after that. I got much better. And used to wave for Yardley at the finish line after that. But he is quite a few years older than me. So we skied many. We always used to ski on Sunday mornings together. Some well-known guys out of Edmonton, Alan Mayer, who became the editor, Andy, who was one of the best riders ever, lives in Victoria now. But we had a bunch of really hardcore skiers every Sunday morning. We go out there and ski together at it was first of all Elk Island Park, and then we went over to Waskahegan on the south side of that highway and skied for miles there. Some mornings we'd wake up. What do you call them? Moose sleeping on the trail and all that stuff. Wild, and that's not that far out of Edmonton. It's pretty wild though. Okay, you turn to tell me a story then.
Waskahegan. Right? Yeah. You have quite a collection of his works, right? And
I do indeed.
We were able to see some. I don't know if you happen to have something small that's handy there, but for me,
I do, but the ones I had this morning, I forgot. I still in my car. Hank, give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Okay, you go ahead. Nick and Yardley have had a long friendship, and often they have so many stories. It would fill up a volume, of course.
Can you see this one?
Let's see.
That's me back in my days when Yardley did that. I was climbing mountains, skiing. I paddled out to the Arctic one year. I was playing tennis, golf, skiing, and he did this for me in all the goddamn regalia at once. That's one of my favorite things. Then I started years ago, maybe, I don't know, 18 years ago, I started doing a fundraiser at the Mac, and
Right.
it was called Zin on the River. You've helped me with Zin on the River.
Yeah, I love that.
So I don't know if you can see this one or not. He did me dressed as a pirate when we were publicizing the event one year. But there you go. He's been a good friend. Yardley's, there's sometimes if I didn't have any artwork for my column, he'd be doing something on to a deadline to get it into the journal. And I go and say, Yardley, I got nothing for no pictures to go on my column. Can you do a doodle for me? He said, yeah, what do you want? So I gave him some idea. In 10 minutes, listen, he would have a color thing done and say, there, does that work? I said, yeah, no, it's a good deal. So I got a Yardley Jones cartoon in with my column, and I give it, and he did it in 10 minutes, and it was beautiful. It was great. So I know we just became good buddies.
Just amazing.
Yeah.
So I was looking here, and I think I have this video, and it's downloading again.
Okay, we'll give you another 20 minutes then, okay?
Yeah, then we're done. Anyway, that's about all we have. But this, this has been fun. I mean, it's the weekend, right? So it's sort of the weekend edition and your thing. And it was done on the phone. I must say, we kind of pulled it off this morning.
It was good. No, it worked really well. And you got such a nice cake. You had a picture of the cake as well.
Yeah.
The cake was good. It was really good.
Yeah, it was very good. And he had some too, which is good. Yeah. So I'm really happy that they've allowed maybe his family can visit him later today. I think you mentioned.
Yeah. Fiona, he's got 6 kids. Fiona is a nurse here. She's got a guy and 2 kids. And Fiona is the nurse, and she is really good. And she looks after her dad, goes to see him whenever she can. But she does 12-hour shifts. And so it's sort of tough for her with 2 kids as well to get there. But she is a tremendous backer of her dad. And then the Spider, his son, who's also a cartoon, his footsteps aren't quite as big as his dad's, but he's not a bad little cartoonist.
Yeah.
But he goes and sees his dad, and his dad nearly always takes him for fish and chips. Yardley doesn't like fancy meals. He will eat fish and chips any day of the week.
Oh, wow. That's good. Does he have a favorite place? Now, I know that you two, prior to COVID, met regularly. I think it's every Tuesday morning. You guys got together for coffee every Tuesday?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's been going on for years. I don't know if you probably didn't know Alex, who was the massage therapist at the Glenora Club. He was a massage therapist at the Santa Club originally.
Right.
And moved over to the Glenora Club, and he and Yardley had coffee. I retired from the journal about 7 years ago and found I could do it, and I wanted on Tuesday mornings. So I joined them for coffee. Alex moved, he has a boy and a girl, son and daughter. They moved to Toronto. So his wife, Luda, talked Alex into moving to Toronto. So Yardley and I went on having coffee together. And one of the more guys who's really, really regular now is, I'm going to get his name, is used to be the manager of the Glenora, Jan Novotny, who used to be the manager of both. Yeah, he used to be the manager.
Yeah.
He used to be the manager of the Glenora and the Derrick. He retired about a year ago. But he joins us every Tuesday for morning coffee nowadays. And he's a great guy to have around. He's got a good sense of humor. And he's was an artist, and he's a great photographer. He's had shows out of Prague of the stories he took when he was in his teens of what the Russians taking over and the whole change in Prague. Priceless photographs he's got, but he's still a very good guy doing his photography, very talented guy, and he's always working on a show upcoming sooner or later. So anyway, the 3 of us get together and shoot the breeze. And Jan is also a very good runner. So I ran on the Kananaskis the Royal Glenora Club Kananaskis relay team. We did that for years. Yardley, of course, outsmarted or outdid us all. And he got into marathon running, decided he wasn't that fast, but he could run forever. So there's a 100K race in Kananaskis. And he did that for years himself. And I'd often go and find him in the A tent getting a massage afterwards. I always didn't know he needed a massage, but he told them he was really hurting and he needed a massage. So they gave him a free massage all the time there. But yeah, I remember once I ran with Yardley in Vancouver, and he said, I'd been off somewhere, and I was following. Do you ever remember Steve Funyo, who ran across Canada for the Cancer Foundation? I was following him across Canada, came back. Yardley was in the marathon and said, you should come and do it with it. It was the Vancouver Marathon. I said, well, I'm not in shape, but I could run the first 20 miles with you probably and keep you on pace. Then you take off and do the end. We got to mile 20, then 22, and I was doing all right. And he said, Nick, I've had enough. I can't do it. So he started to walk. And I said, Yardley, we got a 2-minute buffer, but then you got to move. And he said, no, I can't. So I went on and finished this in under 3.5 hours, which wasn't a bad time. I finished it. And then afterwards, he was really disappointed and said, no. And he'd taken 10 minutes off his best time. And he said, no, I'm just so frustrated. And I said, well, maybe you're a real long distance runner and not a marathoner. And he said, well, what do you mean? I said, well, maybe you should be running 100Ks and doing these ultra
marathons.
So he starts doing these ultra Ks in Kananaskis. I don't know how many he did, but he did a whole bunch of, that was his distance. He did 100K.
Totally crazy.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if I can share this here. Let's try this again. I have it queued up, but you never know. Hold on. It's really about. Can you see that?
Yes, yes.
They call through oceans of time. We'll keep a welcome in the hillside. We'll keep a welcome in the vale. This land you will still be singing when you home again to well. This land of song will keep a welcome, and with love that never fails, we'll kiss away each hour of pirate. When you come home again to
Where's I have the words here.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday! That's fantastic. That's wonderful. Wow, that was great. Good job. You can do anything.
That's a song that.
Now that's an entertainer.
That's a song we listened to when I was growing up on the.
He's kidding.
Oh, that's right. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I can say.
He wants you.
Yeah.
He wants
Aww.
you. You know what he's.
Your picture on your cell phone and call him, and you guys
Call him.
can talk to his cell phone.
Oh, yeah.
Happy cell phone.
You want me to bring out cake and stuff?
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. Thank you. I'd like to taste that lovely cake. It looks delicious.
See what's up.
Yeah, the cake was made by Sweet Pea Cafe. Mr. Terrell Edwards. Yes. You can do anything.
Well, with a little preparation, probably something.
And this wasn't a lot. Thank you so much for being such a terrific.
You didn't have a lot of notice to practice, right, Nick?
Oh, is he ever?
Not a lot.
His
Oh, look.
Amazing. Love the Queen. She's fantastic. You two have been buddies for so long.
We trained together at our first marathon at the Commonwealth Stadium in '82, right next to each other. We didn't know each other, didn't say a thing.
Oh my
But we ran the New York Marathon together in '85, and we raised $32,000 or something. Then we took it the next year. We ran the marathon in Greece and raised a fortune for another charity.
Oh my gosh.
Yardley looks good.
Raising money in our-
Yeah.
They've raised millions just to see Terrell. Yeah, I know. They're fantastic. Yeah.
Well, this is a great day for a birthday.
I know, Yardley, 90 years old.
Look at him.
He looks fantastic.
He doesn't look a year over 55.
He's 55, baby. You and I get tonight. You found his number?
I'm no editor, so I wasn't able to edit it. So this is the raw footage, Nick.
Yeah, I see it.
It's fine. It's nice.
Gal place.
Such a lovely place. Nice day.
Well, I think we just did it.
He looks so happy. He loves you.
Yeah, it's a mutual thing. We've been through a lot together.
Yeah, for sure. You're a really great friend. You guys are like brothers, you know.
Yeah.
This is sad, you know. Oh, but he looks so happy.
We got lucky with this one.
Kiss me quick. Kiss me quick.
He loves to kiss. He loves to kiss.
I think he loves women.
Oh, my God.
Oh, look at the cake. Wow, happy birthday, Yardley. Oh, it's beautiful. Happy 90th, Yardley. The girls at Sweepy Cafe made this cake just for you.
It's a nice close-up of the cake.
Sweet pea. Yeah, so they were nice enough to like make this cake and do what I asked them to do. Thank you, girls. It's beautiful. Can't wait to have a piece of that, Yardley.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Delicious.
He's kissing again.
I wish we could be together, but soon, Yardley. I think she was going to take a picture too. Yeah.
Well, duty calls.
Duty calls, I know. Thank you, Terrell Edwards.
Don't step back on my bird.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Thank you. God bless you. Have a great day. Virtual hugs. Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Thank you.
Good luck in your in all your endeavors today, and thank you for coming to serenade our special Yardley Jones.
Enjoy the sunshine.
All right, cool. Okay.
Oh, there you are, taking the pictures back to the car. All this social distancing.
So I don't know if we're on camera, but this is Yardley Jones, and we're celebrating his 90th birthday. And Yardley, of course, is, you know, he's quite the character. He is one of our own local heroes. Yardley's art and his cartoons are famous. Happy birthday, Yardley. We love Yardley. So we're going to have some cake. Thank you. I love it, love it, love it, love it. We're so sorry that Yardley has to be separated by glass, but he looks wonderful. He does not look a day older than 50. Not a boy. Red. See, he likes red. Red.
He looks good.
Yardley, thank you so much, you know, for being you. I love this. Look at this. Look at this fantastic piece of artwork. Yardley Jones, look at you. You guys can get a close-up look at this. That's Yardley Jones. That's Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip. And there, look, there's Camilla and Charles. Yep. You have such an amazing sense of humor. Well done.
That's iconic, that piece.
Yeah.
Sure, they were very controversial at the time. But you know what?
He's caught the Duke's nose perfectly.
Perfect. Just absolutely perfect, Yardley. But you know, here's the thing. Yardley controversy never bothers Yardley. Do you agree? Controversy? Yeah. No, he doesn't mind. Some of his political
He's been sued a few times. He just lost him out of court.
he's been sued a few times.
Yes.
Oh wow.
I didn't know he'd been sued, Nick.
Many times.
This was very good. You look phenomenal. Look at you.
Really?
you know, I'm
You look great, Nick.
There must be some truth to it.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
This is fantastic. Well, I'm so delighted we could do this for Yardley today. And Terrell did a great job singing this song.
Yeah, sung out right away.
Yeah, he sure did. Well, that's you know, that's an artist for you. Yeah, that's an artist for sure. Love you, Yardley. God bless you, and hopefully soon you'll be out of this, you know, be able to hug Nick, and you guys will soon be able to go for your morning coffees every Tuesday. But I think we have to sort of separate a little longer. Yardley Jones, it's an honor and a privilege to be here celebrating your 90th birthday today. It's an honor. God bless you, for sure.
He's a friendly dude.
So
That's
everyone,
wonderful.
I sure hope that you enjoyed being part of this today. It's a very special day for Yardley. Oh, and there's a big duck flying over. And Nick, he was so good. Nick brought all the artwork. You know, you're welcome. You're welcome. My pleasure. My absolute pleasure. Right? I'm so glad we were able to do this today. So
Absolutely.
you'll be able to hug everybody. Hugs. Hugs. How about a hug? Here we go. Hug. Yardley loves
Oh,
you. Mwah.
Oh, it's Sally Munro's thing. She was there and brought Tyrrell Edwards to sing.
I cut the cake. That will be lovely. Yeah, no, it was fantastic. What a beautiful day for a birthday, Yardley. It's too bad it's
You back,
inside.
Nick? Okay, I think we lost Nick for a second. But happy birthday to Yardley Jones. This was a lot of fun, and hopefully Nick clicks back in. But I want to thank you guys for joining us and celebrating.
What we're gonna do? No,
Well, we did.
I thought we're gonna do it in the parking lot,
Yeah.
and that's where we are.
Hang on
The
here.
song. I printed the words.
And to help us celebrate Yardley
Can you
Jones's
read it?
birthday. So I want to thank you guys, and I hope you guys have a very, very nice weekend. And hopefully, well, what can I say? It's always overwhelming. 90 years is a long time for sure.
Or whatever you
And
have.
we really
Okay.
appreciate
Oh, that
being
cake
able
looks
to
so
be here. And Nick,
delicious.
thank
Look
you
at
for
this.
sharing this.
All right.
And let's have a look here. In the background, we're still hearing the sound,
Yum, yum, yum.
but that's okay. It was really it was a lot of fun today. And thank you guys. I am going to share with you, we're going to take a tour of a beautiful house in Cameron Heights. So if you just bear with me a bit, and we'll get this on its way, okay? 1 second.
Separated.
1 second.
We're keeping our distance.
See if we can.
Boy, look, Yardley's having a seat.
Yeah, he is. He's having a seat for sure. It was wonderful. It was good. It was very good. I was pleased to be able to help Nick pull this off. It was wonderful. Yeah. Oh, there we are eating the cake. The cake was delicious.
You did good.
Thank you, Greta at Sweet Pea Cafe, for jumping to the pump and making us this beautiful, I think it was called chocolate crinkle cake. So thank you for that. And thank you, Terrell, for, you know, the short notice and learning the song, right? Far Away, A Voice is Calling. According to Nick, it's one of Yardley's favorite tunes. It brings tears to his eyes. Yes. So this was wonderful. I am going to figure out how to email this video to Nick so he has it for posterity. Well, thank you guys for coming on this journey with us this morning. God bless you, Nick. All right, so I was able to stop that background. And yeah, I'd love it if you just stay with me for a couple more minutes, and I'm going to take a tour of a beautiful property at 312 Caldwell Way in Cameron Heights Ravine. It's springtime, so Monday we'll release the real estate update stats for April, and I'm told they weren't as bad as everybody thought they were, the number of sales compared to last year. So that'll be just absolutely fantastic to, in fact, see those statistics for sure. So we're going to take you on a little tour of 312. Stay with me. It's a beautiful residence in Cameron Heights. And one moment, let's just figure this out. There we go. This is always lots of fun. There it is. Absolutely. Stunning bungalow. This house is on an amazing, huge yard on the ravine. Huge windows. So I'll take you out and show you. Let's take a look at some of the still photos. They're absolutely exquisite. So all of these, we have lots and lots of pictures, stills and a total virtual tour, but I wanted you to see the backyard. Look at this. Look at these decks. Look at this yard. Just beautiful. Meticulous. Okay, so we ended up back indoors, but let's just see if we can't just scroll through these in a hurry. This is the walkout basement. So this is that great. It's a full walkout, and there are 3 bedrooms in the lower level. A two-sided fireplace. There's also a theater, a media room on this level as well. It's just perfect. Great for family entertaining, a great place to isolate and keep your distance. But now that I think we can gather with a few friends and keep 6 feet apart, this will be a great place for barbecues. They converted one of the rooms into a workout space. And here we are in the media room. This is one of the bedrooms. As you can see, the windows are quite large on this level. And of course, every bedroom has its own ensuite bath. Yeah. Top of the line plumbing fixtures, countertop, plumbing. Oh, this oversized garage thrills absolutely everyone. There's room for 3 cars and lots of extras. This is a covered deck off the kitchen. And that's the lower patio. Yeah, it's just beautiful. Yeah, that beautiful sky. Beautifully built. Yep, we're in the season. This is the perfect season. Spring and summer. This is a beautiful water fountain. Remote control, of course. Yeah, this is a rare shot. Gorgeous, gorgeous walkout bungalow. This is in Cameron Heights on the ravine. The yard is huge. You can imagine throwing the football around with the kids. Meticulous. And this is a lower patio off the walkout on the side, just around the corner from where the two-sided fireplace is. So there's lots of patio spaces. And of course, we have an expansive exposed aggregate driveway. And you can see the 3 separate doors to the garage. Right? The curb appeal is stunning. This is the foyer. This oversized custom door is just beautiful. And of course, on our website, we also provide you with the downloadable PDF floor plan, and we do have a metric, and we have it converted, so either way. And the main level of the house is 2437 square feet. And you also have the similar space in the lower level as well. So there's lots and lots of square footage, right? So you multiply that by 2, you almost have like almost 5,000 square feet of living space in this beautiful, beautiful house, right? So yes. Well, thank you very much. And do visit our website. We have lots of beautiful houses, and, you know, the right time, of course, you know, it's springtime. Everyone is thinking about making a change, and change is good. Yeah. So in the spring, move up, move down. The interest rates, as you heard earlier this week, the rates are at an all-time low, and they're expecting it to stay down this low. And I look forward to talking to you on Monday. And of course, Sunday is open house day. So Sunday, tomorrow, we will go live in a beautiful home. And it's a learning curve here for sure. So we'll see how that works. And we look forward to joining you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And we will be in another beautiful residence. And this time it'll be live on Facebook and on YouTube. And happy birthday to Yardley Jones. And thank you guys again. Like I said, we're here till we get through the COVID-19. Everyone is just really, truly relieved. You know, we're relieved that we're able to now get outside, but we still need to, I think, exercise caution and be very careful out there. Until we find a vaccine, I think that this COVID-19 will be around for a while, but it is encouraging that we can actually see people and keep our 6 feet apart. I think the dogs are pretty excited that they can get, go to the off-leash dog parks. So I want to thank you for being here again today, and I want to thank you for doing your part as we stay safe. And I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Take care and get out and enjoy the sun. It's going to be, I think, one of our best afternoons ever. All the best, and we will see you here again live tomorrow. You never know what you're going to find around here. And I'm so thrilled that you guys joined me today, even with all of, our technical difficulties. But, I actually love learning new things, and I'm persistent. That's one thing about me, I'm persistent. Managed to play that raw video of Yardley Jones's birthday. Happy birthday, Yardley, and happy birthday to your entire family. I know they're very, very proud of you. And you have a very, very great friend in Nick. Nick and you're like brothers. And thank you to our esteemed Terrell Edwards for being such a sport. Thank you, Terrell. And don't forget Terrell, he's doing lots of cool things. And join him for his game show on Thursdays at 8 o'clock. And definitely check out TerrellEdwards.com and subscribe to Terrell on YouTube. And if you missed today, we'll be, streaming again. We're on YouTube. And this is always in posterity. Thank you, Facebook. It'll be on Facebook. So all the very best. And I am always available by phone. As you can see, the phone was ringing. Nick took a call. That was wonderful. But thank you, Nick. All the best. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.